Unexplained 2026 2026 Never saw you were dinner far away, far away.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Festival of the Unexplained and our second guest speaker announcement. So, a little bit about this lady. She's an international psychic medium and clairvoyant, offering a range of spiritual services, including psychic mediumship and readings on a one-to-one basis. She's also been, I believe, on television, so including Sky, ITV, BBC One, and Channel 4. So, without further ado, I would like to warmly introduce you to our second guest speaker. And when she's ready to come on, we'll introduce you. Hi, Julie. Welcome. Can you hear me? You there? Can you hear me, Julie? You there? Can you hear me?
Can't hear you at the moment, Jay.
Okay. Guys, looks like we're having a few gremlins tonight. So just while we sort out the microphone on Julie's end, let's talk about everything. So, yeah, as you saw, Julie Angel is our second guest speaker for our event between the 6th and 8th of November, to be held at Worcester White House Hotel. Obviously, tickets are going really fast. Really excited about the event. Obviously, we've got way more speaker announcements coming thick and fast over the coming weeks and months. If you haven't already bought your ticket, there is a payment plan in place just for anyone who's still feeling the pinch after Christmas. Details of that are on our website, which is listed at the bottom of this screen. And what gets included within that price for the ticket is 2 nights accommodation, 2-course dinner on the Friday, breakfast on the Saturday, light lunch on Saturday dinner, 3-course dinner on the Saturday night, breakfast Sunday, tea and coffee Friday through Sunday. And there's also the spa facilities also included with the accommodation. So with that, sauna, jacuzzi, heated swimming pool, and a gym. Welcome back, Julie. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Brilliant. Oh, she's gone again. Sorry about this, guys. As you know, these things never go quite according to plan. But yeah, just while I've got you as well, obviously, just to let you know, there will be a raffle that will be drawn at the dinner dance as part of the convention on the 7th, which will be the Saturday. So we are appealing for any donations that we can raffle off for charity. So the charity is a local mental health charity called the Joe Phipps Foundation. As I said, they're about mental health and suicide prevention, something I hold very close to my heart. So hopefully, spread the word, and any donations would be greatly received for that. Julie, welcome back.
Third time lucky, eh? Not the
Third,
Mercury
well,
retrograde
third
or
time's a
anything.
charm, as they say. So, would you like to tell our audience a little bit about yourself?
Sure, yeah. So I've done the Festival Explained before when we were up in Leicestershire. I think it was Colford or somewhere like that. And I also did an event with Karen at the Gloucester Guildhall. But I'm a full-time psychic medium. I do public demonstrations of psychic mediumship. I do one-to-one readings. I do corporate events, charities, parties. I'm a street psychic. I'm a psychic detective as well. I do exorcisms. I do past life regression and dream interpretation, amongst other things.
Wow, so that all sounds very interesting. I was going to say it sounds pretty full on. Psychic detective. What
Yeah,
does that entail?
well, basically, I'm an ex-police officer. God forbid somebody had to be, didn't they? And yeah, it's a long story. It's how my mediumship started in the first place, strangely. So when I was in the job, my first husband's grandmother passed away, and literally overnight she's latched onto me. And I saw her after I went down, the doctor said, "Look, I'm seeing and hearing dead people, and they're telling me stuff." So I used it in the police. I got 6 commendations and 6 years service for preventing, detecting crime, because I did a and finding, I've saved 3 people's lives, funny enough.
Wow.
But in that job, my sergeant called me in the office. He goes, "Matthews, have you got an unregistered informant?" I was like, "Well, actually, yes, Sarge, it's my husband's dead granddad," because he was a West Midlands sergeant. So he was telling me where to go to do all these things. Anyway, so since I was booted out the job for whistleblowing, to cut a long story short, probably had more rides in the police car since I left the job than I was in it, but that's another story. And now I still get called upon to help find missing people, help coroners' officers. Before now, some forces still do actually admit openly using psychics for things like remote viewing and that kind of and there's been a lot of people ask me to help find missing dogs and whatever, and people, even when there's a reward up. But I keep that under wraps, because otherwise it looks like you're cashing in on someone else's misery, even if there's like a 10 grand reward up. There was one a while back, a couple of Christmases ago. So I don't charge for that sort of thing, because why would you, if you can help find someone that's missing, or a pet, a beloved pet that's missing. So yeah, and I guess like any psychic, there's an element of detective work in all the readings that we do. It's about unfolding sometimes the past, but more so what's going on now and the future. But yeah, the police crime things are interesting.
I wouldn't have thought the two were linked, exclusively, but yeah, it goes to show you, how serious obviously mediumship's taken, especially in this day and age.
Well, that's it, because sometimes you don't want to be the bringer of bad news. But I guess when people have like all logical things have failed, when I was in the bill, and you go to a missing person, for instance, first thing you do is search the house, and then you have to do all the logical routes and do this and do that and find out. Obviously nowadays you've got all this social media. I left in 2001, so things have moved on a heck of a lot since then. But usually consulting a psychic medium or psychic detective, as the case might be, is the last resort. But what I do for that, if they've already crossed over, I become them. I just see through their eyes, see where they are, what their last movements were, where their body is, if they know where it is, which usually they do. To the point where pinpointing, it doesn't matter where in the world they are either. As anybody that knows about clairvoyance or remote viewing. No, you can be anywhere in the world, and obviously sometimes if I don't recognize the area, I will ask them to show me significant landmarks, signposts, or get an aerial shot. It's no different to using a satellite navigation system like Google Maps or Google Earth. It looks like that, or street. I just chop and change my view of how I'm seeing what's gone on. You also get things like with people having stuff stolen, and usually the chance of people that have had stuff nicked, even if it's like a family member, the chance of it getting recovered are zero. But that's just goes to the territory. All you can do is try and recover things, really. But yeah, it's an interesting part of our work.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned remote viewing. I was listening to a guy called Hal Puthoff recently. I think it was on Joe Rogan, and he was talking how like the US military use this to this current day, psychic espionage and psychic warfare. And he
Yeah,
was telling a story how there was a Russian fighter jet that come into US airspace and crashed. And
yeah,
obviously the Americans wanted to get to it to see what technology was on that plane.
I bet they
And
do.
he used remote viewing with coordinates, and they were able to obtain that before the Russians got it back. So,
Yeah,
and anyone who sort of thinks this is, the stuff of fairy tales, it's as you've just displayed, it's used by the police, it's used by militaries around the world. So,
well, so Winston Churchill used psychics as well.
really, I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
yeah, he used remote viewers and psychics, and I think there was a royal pardon. I can't remember the name of the lady that foresaw a ship getting sunk. I can't remember it. It's a famous case, so famous I cannot recall it. But anyway,
Yeah.
there was a royal pardon given to her. I think she was locked up under witchcraft rules or whatever because she actually was I don't know if it was something to do with the Da Vinci Code as well, or there was something going on along those lines. So we're always going to get tarnished with that kind of thing, no matter how long or what your
Yeah.
credentials are. But yeah, it's Gloucestershire Police, the Metropolitan Police use psychics. Obviously, the force area I'm in do as well, but they don't broadcast it because you can imagine standing up in court, well, Your Honour, or Your Worship. my dead granddad told me so, or you're just not going to wash with a jury. But it gives them like finding, unfortunately, where I live, there's loads of rivers and people get drunk and they fall in the river, and then there's months go by and they're trying to find where this person was or the circumstances around it, and it just speeds things up, I guess. Yeah, from that point.
Which obviously brings comfort, I'm guessing, to a lot of families, to get that little bit of closure.
Yeah, well, it's no coincidence that actually I'm talking to a ufologist, if that's your title. Excuse me if I've got that wrong, but I was talking last night at this gig I did in Evesham about ufology, and it just fascinates me because from a remote viewing point of view, I don't know what your take is. There's more war going on in space than there is down here. And a lot of these so-called sci-fi films are not sci-fi at all. They're a very true reflection of what the heck is really going on up there.
If you look at the timing, obviously Spielberg's got a movie coming out this year called Disclosure Day.
Right.
The premise of that is that ETs, or what we like to call alien, are actually living amongst us. They look like me and you.
Yeah, well, of course they will, and they already are.
So I was going to ask you, what do you think one of the biggest misconceptions is about what it is that you do?
I think the misconception with the biggest, I don't know what gets people saying, oh, you're preying on the vulnerable, or you're a fake, or the good thing about being an ex-copper is that when I was in that job, getting evidence that would stand up in court has to be absolutely bang on, otherwise you're going to lose the case. But there's no point stitching people up if they haven't done anything. The role of a copper is to establish whether a crime has been committed, not to assume there has been one. But in that job, you have to describe someone's height, build, marks, scars, tattoos, their accent, their mannerisms, the car they drove, the place they lived, something that stands out about them. And like, you'd have to describe a crime scene, implements that were used, people's MO. And so when I'm doing my mediumship, I use that clairvoyantly to see as though I was going to give evidence in court. So
Oh,
I can get people to give something that I ask the spirit, whoever it is that I'm connecting to, say it was an audience or
yeah,
one, that only something that only they would know. And if it's all over the press for whatever reasons, I don't read newspapers or listen to the radio or TV hardly ever, because I don't know, just don't.
yeah,
But if it has been all over there, I want them to tell me something that hasn't been published, that only they would know about. So I think the misconception that we're cold reading or reading from the obvious is, I'd like to I like a challenge. I like to not prove people wrong, but I like to open people's minds if I can.
brilliant.
And this vague information doesn't wash me. Sometimes you are giving a message, oh, you've been working hard. Well, yeah, we can all take that. And all this little lady of grey hair loves you very much. Well, me too. It's not enough. People need to have something that leaves them in no uncertain doubt that who they said is there is there. And that's what I aim for with myself. So you can't have people saying, oh, well, that could apply to anybody. I think that the proof of the pudding has to be in the eating. And there's just other things, really strange things been going on recently. Whenever I do a live or go and do an event, I'm starting to get apports or strange things happening before I even get there. Like Karen can verify this. Yesterday afternoon, my mum, whose name is Jean, sat on my bed upstairs. And bear in mind, I've been away in Glastonbury all weekend. So all the windows have been locked, all the doors were locked. There's only one door in the house that actually opens at the moment, long story. There was a what turns out to be a peacock butterfly on my bedroom floor. And I said, that's got to be, I said to my mum, that's got to be a sign for someone tonight. I posted it on Facebook anyway. I put be a sign for someone tonight. And at the end of it, I put a blue butterfly on the message 7 hours previously. And in the audience last night, there was a girl there for a nan whose name was Jean with a blue butterfly tattooed on her wrist. I mean, that's the kind of thing that I can't make that happen, but you just put the bits of the jigsaw together,
No, it's synchronicities they call them, don't they?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Without obviously giving too much away about what you're going to give your talk about in November, can you give us a little bit of a taster about what people should expect?
What I plan and what actually happens in reality are two different things. I might do a demonstration of psychic mediumship, just whoever turns up, as though I would do if I was doing an event. Because that kind of brings in, I can open it up to the audience and ask people, like, fire away. Like with my shows at the end of the evening, I say, fire away, ask anything you want to ask. So I'm probably likely to go down that route because that's my thing. I don't think an exorcism would really apply.
I can think of a few that maybe need it, but
who's brought what into the White House Hotel, but so I don't think I'll be doing any of that. I don't think past life regressions will really fit either. So it's probably more than likely just doing a demonstration of, obviously I'm a psychic and a medium, and what people don't get is they're two different things. They just assume it's the same thing. Or the clairvoyant is clear seeing, but they just assume, well, that's a psychic then. Well, no, it's not. It's a tool or a sense that's used for both psychic ability and mediumship. They're not, a psychic and mediums too. Not everyone's a psychic, and not all mediums are psychic, and all psychics are mediums. Just happen to be both. And a lot of people don't understand the difference between an evidential medium and a medium. They just assume that giving proof of survival, whereas an evidential medium doesn't need photographs, rings, watches. You just stand there and do it without any props needed.
Is clairvoyance something entirely different from that then, or?
Clairvoyance is just clear seeing. So when I'm doing a psychic reading, I literally see the future. So I see future events. The feedback I've had over 25 years, some of the things I see could be 6 to 7 years away. So I see a picture of people's lives, which is why they don't need to come back for 6, 7 years usually, because I've covered but then most people, if anything like me, want to know what's going on next week. They're not really bothered what's happening 6, 7 years from now, but that shows a bigger picture. And then my job, I guess, is to rewind and then put how we get from here to there. So I'll describe where they're living, what they're doing, what a typical day looks like, who they are with, what's changed, if you like, or how they got to be in whatever scenario they're in. And sometimes it's 4 to 5 years, and I use clairsentience for that, which is your gut feeling, to accuracy on timing. And then with the mediumship, the clairvoyance is the same. So I see the person that I'm talking to, I ask them to show themselves to me, so I see a clear picture in my head. Or sometimes if it's an audience, I'm literally seeing them. Same when I'm looking at you on screen, I'm looking at pretty much an apparition of the person behind them. It works weird how it works differently when I'm doing like a public thing to private. Actually, I've never really asked why that is. Maybe I think it's just the competition that the people, that the spirits that want to connect to their loved ones on the earth plane, just know that they've got to do something outstanding to fight off all the other people up there wanting to do people down here.
It's like kids in the playground. Everyone's got the hand up for the teacher. Brilliant. On a personal level, I'm really looking forward to seeing your talk. Is there anything that you're particularly looking forward to, having attended before?
Oh, I just think that just meeting, there is so much about the paranormal, the occult, the mysticism. You can put whatever title you like on the whole unexplained things, which the whole idea is to explain the unexplained, or at least our take on it, because how I see my work might be completely different to another psychic medium. They might, sometimes you can agree to disagree on things. Maybe that's the same in your line, but the whole subject is fascinating. It's a real eye-opener. If I said to people, do one thing in your life before you die, it's got to be going to a convention like what you guys run. Because you're never gonna, I've never heard of anything like this before. And it's just phenomenal, really, to meet people that are making their job or full-time occupation, or even not, out of tapping into unseen forces. It's incredible when you think about it, and proof as well. It's one thing thinking about it, but there's another thing actually showing that there's evidence here, as much as I do this full time, there's a part of me that's still the ex-cop. If things can't be proven beyond reasonable doubt, is a load of tosh, and the ex-university lecturer as well. If it can't be academically proved, that's tosh as well. But actually, that's
the rational brain, isn't it? Trying to rationalize with applied logic.
When you listen to people at these, the talks that go on, and you meet these people that I've met at the Festival of Unexplained before, you just know that they know their subject inside out and back to front, and nothing is going to shake the world's biggest skeptic. Is not going to blow them off their credentials, because it's just too just fascinating. It really is. It's a real honor actually to be there.
It's our honor to have you back. So is there anything else anywhere, in terms of social media, where people can obviously come and find you if needs be?
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, there's about 5 million. I've magically cloned. There's like a lot of people. There's these fake profiles of me with my. And I have to say to your audience, I will never inbox people offering a reading. People contact me, not the way around. I'm on WhatsApp, and my mobile number is on my Facebook page, which is Julie Angel Matthews. It's my personal one, but I've got more followers on there because people can't copy that as much as a Julie International Psychic Medium on that one. Bit of a gobful. And my website's coming out, should be tomorrow. That's going live. That's julieangel.co.uk. But if all else fails, a good old mobile phone, it'll just telepath me.
That sounds good. I could do with something myself. But no, thank you, and thank you for your time this evening. And obviously, for people that haven't seen you before, introducing yourself to them. So, I will say you can go and enjoy your evening. So welcome, Julie, second speaker for Festival of the Unexplained in November between the 6th and the 8th. Get your tickets now if you'd like to see Julie and maybe find out more about what she does. Thank you, Julie.
Thanks very much then. Take care.
Okay, good night.
I'm not sure how I clicked myself off, but I'm sure
There we go, guys. So, wow. Hopefully that gives you enough insight into the wonderful Julie Angel. I'd met her previously. I know she's 100% legit. And yeah, if you're interested in this stuff, because, A links to B and B links to C, please come along, keep an open mind and immerse yourself and learn about this stuff. I know for me personally, I enjoy learning about this. So, I'm really excited and looking forward to having Julie on board along with the previous guest. So, yeah, as I say, something I didn't read out. So when I said about obviously the raising the money via the raffle for the charity, it's also for the campaign against living miserably. And that's something that I sort of champion and something that's very close to my heart. So if any of you guys can think of anything or you know anyone that can donate some funky and cool raffle prizes, then obviously, guys, it's going to a real good place and doing a good job raising some money. So with that in mind, I will say, obviously, guys, get your tickets in early. Provisionally, I've seen the lineup for this year. I'm excited about it. And we can't wait to kind of come to you and deliver some of the names that we've got. We've got 2 amazing speakers already lined up. As I keep saying, and I said with Karen literally just last week when we did the live stream, I think this is going to be the biggest and best year we've had to date. And I know that's a bold statement to make, and it's up to us to back that up. But with the lineup of speakers and the team that we have in place, I really feel positively about November. So go and get your tickets. And as always, like, share, and comment. Visibility wise, guys, like we are literally without you sort of sharing these posts. So please do that and encourage people to come along as much as you can. Those that have been before over the previous years, by all means, champion our cause. We need you guys as much as the team that runs this. So, I'm looking forward to this, and stay tuned to our socials for more announcements in the coming weeks and months. They're going to be coming thick and fast. So, I look forward to seeing you all again. And as always, let's do this. Take care. Good night.
Festival of the Unexplained 2026, the 6th to the 8th of November.